The only constant thing in life is change. This is Leaders Arise with Demola Awoyele. Always a joy, always a pleasure to hang out with you on this platform, teaching and learning leadership with you. Today, we are discussing change is constant. Change is constant. So, for the next couple of minutes, I want us to dissect the concept of change. You must have heard before now that the only constant thing in life is change. And this teaching is so timely because we are in a season of change in our world. I believe that the COVID-19 pandemic has changed a lot. It has changed the face of business. It has changed the face of finance and economy. It has changed the face of religion or ministry, as you may want to call it. Even the academic institutions are not left behind in this change. So it is important as a leader or whoever it is you are to understand what change is about so that you can leverage change to make progress in life and destiny. So let's get started. Wherever you are, get yourself a comfortable posture, get a seat, get yourself a cup of coffee, call a friend, and let's get to enjoy this teaching together. So let's get started. So we are discussing, like I said, the topic I've titled Change is Constant. Now, very quickly, I want you to understand that life has not been designed to remain the way it is. All right. Over the years, things have changed. All right. Things have changed. In fact, I used to tell people that, of course, this is 2020, the month of September. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed a whole lot of things. I normally see year 2020 as several years in one, maybe 2 years in one at the least. What do I mean? February 2020 cannot be compared with September 2020. A lot has changed. Let me give you a quick example. If you go out to a grocery store or whatever store to buy stuff, and you tell them, I bought this piece of material, so amount, some time ago, they would like to ask you, when did you buy it? I bought it in January. I say, no, things have changed. Obviously. So January 2020 and September 2020, they are not the same. That is just in the context of year 2020 as far as COVID-19 pandemic is concerned. But generally speaking, things have changed. The face of technology has changed. The face of business has changed. The face of ministry has changed. All right. So what we want to learn today is how you and I can understand this concept of change, or maybe I want to say how we can understand the dynamics of change and how we can use it for our advantage. So let me quickly teach you very fast what you need to understand about change. Number one, change is constant. Can I say it again? Change is constant. What does that mean? There would always be change. All right. Most of us, or some of us, are too fixated on the normal. All right. One of the words we keep hearing in this season is the new normal. The new normal. The truth of the matter is, life has moved from normal to new. Without even talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, life is always moving from normal to new. You know what happens when life moves from normal to new? A point comes that the new becomes the normal. And things change again, the normal, the new, another new comes, overtakes the normal and all of that. Now, that is so easy for anyone to understand. Now, so that's the first thing I want to talk about, that change is constant. Number two, Your response to change is what determines your outcome after change. Maybe I'll say it this way: people can have either of two attitudes to change. Some have the attitude of response, while some have the attitude of reaction. Response is positive, reaction is negative. In fact, in this side of the world, quite a lot of people react to change. Now, that might look innocent, but for everyone that will become their best in life, they must move beyond reacting to change. They must move to responding to change. Now, what is the difference between reaction and response? Like I said, number one, response is positive, reaction is negative. Number two, response has to do with you're taking it upon yourself to determine what becomes of you when change happens. I didn't say if change happens, I said when, because change would always happen. While reaction is giving the change the permission to decide your outcome. So it suffices to say that anyone that must have a better outcome when change happens must take responsibility. It's so important to understand that the word response and responsibility, they go side by side. Somebody said responsibility actually means responsibility. Responsibility. How do you know a responsible person? He actually has the ability to respond rather than reacting. So responding to change actually means that you have taken it upon yourself to determine how change will leave you. How change will leave your business, will leave your family, will leave your career, will leave your ministry. But when you react, you have given permission for the change to determine your outcome. Number three, you need to prepare for change. Any change that catches you unawares, you stand very little or no chance, all right, to have an advantage over it. For a lot of people, change catches them unawares. Whether it's in business, whether it's in ministry, when you see a man that is running helter-skelter because of change, it does mean that that change has caught him unaware. And that is why part of the element of vision is ability to think ahead, ability to see ahead. The scripture says in the book of Proverbs that a wise man or a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. What does that mean? A wise man does not wait for evil to come before he hides himself, meaning that he has foreseen the evil, all right, and he had determined his response before the evil comes. But for quite a number of people, it is when the evil comes, like in this side of the world, we call it a fire brigade approach. All right, you want to quickly treat the evil that has come. But the wisdom of God is for you to foresee evil. Now, even before the face of business start changing practically, an average person should understand that this COVID-19 social distancing, all right, wearing of face mask and what have you, it will change a lot of things. It will change a lot of things. Even if the change had not happened, because it has started, we are already in that change. But a wise man will have thought ahead, what is the implication of all this to my business? Even as a student, I have the plan to travel out of the country for my postgraduate study. What is the implication? Will I still be able to travel? If the answer is yes, what will be the face of immigration? Somebody is just thinking about that right now. Or you just think you walk up to the embassy, US embassy, Canadian embassy, or whatever, and say, give me visa the way they used to do before. That might not happen. They will have to subject you to some stuff. Even when you arrived, your old station, things have changed. Now, I'm speaking to that person who is about to travel out of the country or planning to do so any moment from now or later this year. Understand that things have changed. All right, so that's the third point I want you to understand. All right, that it is best, all right, to prepare for change before it actually comes. Since you know that change is constant, can I tell you something about change? You cannot pray change away. You can only prepare for it. Do you understand? What is the use of prayer? Prayer is, prayer may not, like we said in the church world, prayer may not change all things for you, but prayer will change you for all things. Can I say that again? Prayer may not change all things for you. Some of you might be, oh Lord, take COVID-19 away. What if God is not taking COVID-19 away? I'm not a pessimist. But COVID-19 will take longer than we expect before it eventually fizzles out. What would you do so that you have an advantage despite COVID-19? That's what we are discussing today. All right, because you need to prepare for change. You don't pray change away, you prepare for change. Can I say it again? You don't pray change away, you prepare for change. And that's the third point I want you to understand. That change is best approached when we prepare for it before now, but before it comes. You are going to marry as a young lady. That is change. Or don't you know that marriage will change some things? Oh, you don't know. Sometimes marriage will change your physique. Maybe when you get pregnant. Sometimes marriage will change your social life. As a young man, you hang out with the boys. All right, till the club want to close. I say, we want to close. Can you go? But now you are married. You may not be able to do that again. Things have changed. And that's why there is marital problem in some cultures, because the guy still want to be living a single life while he's married. He didn't prepare that my getting married will change my social life. It will change the way I use my time. It will change the way I spend my money. Before now, I buy things on impulse, but when I'm married, I have to put calculation to it. I have to understand that my money is no longer my money is our money. So number 3, change needs to be prepared for, or you need to be prepared for change. Because when you prepare for change, you will not be a victim of change. Rather, you will be a victor when change comes. Number 4. The purpose of change is to move you to your next level in life. No matter what the change is about. Can I quickly say very immediately now that, most times when change comes, sometimes it appears negative. All right, it appears as something you wouldn't want. Do you know why? This, our flesh, is used to normal. Yeah. In fact, the law of motion, Isaac Newton now taught us that I read physics by the grace of God. All right, so there's what we call the law of inertia. All right, that's the Newton's first law of motion, but we call it the law of inertia. So inertia actually is the reluctance of a body that is at rest to start moving, and that which is already in motion to be at rest. That is inertia. The reluctance. And so we normally call the Newton's first law of motion the law of inertia, because inertia will always play out whenever change is about to happen. Because Newton's first law of motion taught us every object will continue in a state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line, except acted upon by an external force. That's physics. But you and I know that external forces will always act upon us. But when you understand the concept of change, you will determine what external force will do to you. Whether their action upon you will further your life, which is God's plan and purpose, or it will bring about a stop or a retrogression to your life. So inertia talks about the reluctance. So when an object is at rest, it doesn't want to move, reluctant to move. And when an object is in motion, it doesn't want to stop. And that describes quite a number of people today. Somebody is in motion for this kind of business, but the face of business now, because of COVID-19, says, no, you've got to stop. But because your flesh is used to moving, it's reluctant to move. Or you're at the time that you are at rest. All right? And COVID-19 says you've got to move. If you don't move, you're going to die. If you don't move, your business will die. But your flesh says, I'm used to sitting. I'm used to not moving. So that is why most change often come across us as problem. Right. And I want to announce to you that COVID-19 is not a problem. It's a blessing in disguise. And I need you to understand that. It's a blessing in disguise. It is the way you handle it that will determine whether the blessing will come out of the seeming problem or you are going to be swarmed in the problem, as you call it. That they move you from one department to another in your company. You can imagine how people feel. Because you are not used to it. Your flesh is used to normal. But I now announce to you that they are moving you from your department to another is change. And God wants it to make you progressive in your career journey. The same thing for ministry people, the same thing for business people, and what of you? But so when you understand that the purpose of progress is to move us further in the program of God for our lives, it will help us to see change as something that will lead to a positive end, even if it does not look like it at the moment. So I challenge you today as I round up. Welcome change. Be excited about change. Whether it's change in your marital status, change in your ministry phase, change in business, change in career, welcome it. Be excited about it. Prepare for it. Take responsibility. Don't react. Respond. Then, of course, when you do all of this, you would soon discover that this change has made you better and not bitter. I hope today's episode of Leaders Arise has been of huge blessing to you. My encouragement for you as I round up this broadcast is to go out there and leverage change for progress and advancement in your life and endeavor. Thank you for your time with me today. I hope to have your questions, your comments, your feedbacks, and I hope that next episode you will hang out with me on this platform as we learn leadership together. Help me share this stream to your friends and contacts and let them also get blessed the way you have been. If you are yet to like our page on Facebook, or if you are on YouTube, if you are yet to subscribe to the YouTube page, help me do that right away. And if you're on MixLR platform, follow that page so that whenever we are live on any of these platforms, you would be notified and you will join the broadcast. Thank you for your time with me today. I look forward to having you again on this platform at the next episode. Go right there and succeed. Bye for now.